Hey, welcome back to Milton Daily Homes. If you want to join us on a tour, just click over there. You can come. It's about 2 hours. We'll show you a lot of the different neighborhoods and the kinds of homes in your price range. And we run them 7 days a week, so just sign up over there. Like I said, 18 properties today. The first one up is 409 Baverstock, 359.9 is the price, 1235 square feet. Definitely a bold color choice on the walls. I mean, that's dark, a little bit different. And the other thing is that looks like ceramic tile in the family room, which may not fit with everybody, but it's more of that California look. There's some nice sort of big bushes around here. The concern that sometimes we have when we look at these homes, if you look at Milton really started growing here, which is where this home is. Baverstock's up around the park here. And some of the stuff around Main Street, that's starting to get to 10, 11 years. And what we find is that I talked about this yesterday, like windows, roof, furnace, air conditioning are your sort of big four in terms of expense. Usually when you look at the condition of a home. So the roofs are starting to get replaced in a lot of the homes in these neighborhoods. So those are things that can start to influence your decision versus, unfortunately, for the people selling the older homes, there's a huge selection of newer stuff on the west side. And so it's more of a commute on that side, but they're sort of new and they smell new and fancy and everything else. But the trees in these neighborhoods, some of the things that you're starting to see, it's a much different feeling. The schools are more established. There's not as much transition. There's a little bit more stability in some of them. So that's just kind of what you get. I mean, people say to me, is there a difference in values between the new and the old stuff? The new seems to be selling a little bit more frequently now, but in terms of prices, they've held because they each have their own different value points. I mean, you could save 10 minutes being on the east side of town in a home like this compared to being somewhere over by the escarpment. So anyways, that's a bit about that. Kavanaugh's the next one. It's 1370 square feet, 379. Not a ton of upgrading inside. I mean, it's just sort of plain Jane, and a vacant home can be difficult to sell because, I mean, 3 of those pictures just look like big boxy rooms. But whatever. I mean, it's sort of a little bit, it's probably in the right range. I mean, I've seen some that have sold for more, some that have sold for less. Barclay here at 389, a little bit high, but it does have a nice finished basement. Well staged. These models really were peaking for a while and then they kind of slid back a little bit. I think if these guys maybe had a little bit more upgrading in the kitchen, they might have a shot here. Either way, it's very nice. It shows well. Barclay is a good quiet street, and it definitely is good. It's in the right range. First number starts with a 3, although we've seen more competition in that range than I think we've ever seen. There's more listings, more selection right now for buyers in that maybe 350 to 420 range than I can ever remember by a lot. Dalhousie, 1510 square feet. It's a Hillsview model, 389. And sort of the same upgrades as that Emery on Kavanaugh. You're basically getting about 150 square feet more on this one compared to something like Kavanaugh. Different feeling. It's really personal preference, how much home that people think they need. But that's another point that we talk to a lot of first-time buyers about. A lot of first-time buyers are very conservative with the amount of money they want to spend. Well, I don't want to go over this. And sometimes what we let them know is that not to push the budget and to go crazy, but if it's affordable, if it's a good thing for them to get into a home where they could maybe stay for a few more years, that they could maybe have a family, makes a big difference, because to sell a home, to buy another one, there's a lot of cost involved with that. And so if you can put that off, if you can stay in a home where you'd be happier for longer, oftentimes it makes more financial sense to maybe spend $50 a month more to get the home you really want and you can stay in for longer. So Bustle Crescent, 399. It's I think this model is about 1,500 square feet. And so what you see is that you've got your kitchen with an eat-in, and then you've got a big family room in the back here. And very nicely staged, like really, like the light fixtures, the finished basement, everything is humming at a very good level. And $399, they might get it because of the way it looks, but if on paper, if you actually sort of look at comparing across for what they're going for. Now, across from the park and ravine has a little bit of benefit, but the real benefit is when it's behind you, when there's privacy in your backyard. Andrews Trails 424.9. Again, a nice looking home. I don't think they're going to get it. This model, again, probably about the same size as the previous one. almost a flip around. So the kitchen with the eat-in is on the back part, and then you've got a family room that you walk through to get to the kitchen. So the other model had them flipped. This one has a finished basement too. Again, very well decorated, both of them. There's a little loft upstairs on this one where you could have a computer nook, and you've got some wainscoting on the walls. It does back onto Thompson too, so I can't see the first number starting with a 4 on this one. December is the possession they're looking for. McCandless is a Linwell end. It's 1680 something square feet. 428.9. Nice floor plan on here. The hardwood. This is a classic hardwood color. I like this because it never goes out of style. So it's not too dark. It's not too light. It's something that will maintain for a really long time. You can see no neighbors beside. There are people that will probably walk their dogs and go for a jog beside. But if you're looking for privacy really from having a home, you're in good shape on this one. Now, what that is beside this one is it's train tracks, right? So you're going to hear, there's going to be buyers that, whether it's something that they should be concerned of or not, they're going to see that. They're not going to like it. I do like the fact that, I mean, there's really two approaches with the listing. You're either going to be upfront about something and say, look, it's there, whatever. I mean, I can't help it. Or some of the listings are a little bit more discreet. And so it's like the first way is you'll get more qualified traffic. Your showings may not be as much, but they're going to be better showings, or you get more people in and then rely on the fact that maybe 1 or 2 of them are going to go, yeah, that's fine. I can deal with that. So no right or wrong. I think it's the approach of the seller and the real estate agent about how they want to handle that. So it's a great floor plan here. There's laundry on the second floor. There's a little walkout balcony here too. You will hear the train tracks, so there's no doubt about that. 428.9. From in my eyes, a little bit high there. So Wise Crossing is 439.9. It's a semi. It's about 1,800 square feet. Really nice floor plan. And so you've got 4 bedrooms plus a finished basement there. And when you look at the townhomes, the townhouse version that's kind of similar to this one, they sell at 420 without a finished basement. Potentially, these guys they're in a decent spot. Allen Crescent 439. Now you got to remember, this home was probably built 9 years ago, 8-9 years ago. I mean, it's dated. Like, it's about as dated as you can get in the neighborhood. And we see stuff like the brassy door handles and stuff like that, but this one really is good. I can't see any buyer that's going to come in here and say, boy, this is ready to move in. It's going to require some work. Now, that being said, bungalow for this price, plus some part of a finished basement too, it's an excellent option if you're prepared to come in and spend $30,000, $40,000, maybe more. Who knows? It depends on what level you want to get it to. But I do like that one. I think it's a good price range option for someone looking for a bungalow. Colson 449. They were up at 479. Smart move to bring it under 450. Linked home, which means it shares a foundation with the neighbor, but it really looks like a detached home on the outside. Some nice upgrades here. You can see some of the baseboards. You can see the kitchen has had some upgrading. And overall, I think that the driveway would have been a good thing to do. I think that having a nice, crisp driveway really makes a big difference. Maybe even neutralizing some of the paint here. I think it would have changed that first impression a lot. But this it's a 52 by 122 foot lot, so they're in a better spot now than before. McQuaig is 449. Double car garage, basically 1 room on the main floor plus kitchen and eat-in. It's a good deal. If you check the virtual tour, the pictures look great. Boy, that's a good deal for a double garage under 450, and you're actually getting a nice one. It gets my full thumbs up. Sprucedale might have a 2-car parking in the driveway, which is oftentimes, I talked about this on a previous episode. It's a lot of times what people are looking for. I don't want to switch my cars around. I mean, the photos are not good at all. It looks like a Cleveland model, which is about 1,800 square feet. And you got a 36 by 102 foot lot, which is about maybe 20 feet deeper than some of the Mattamy stuff. So anyhow, it's move-in ready. It's quick. It's immediate. Fourth line is 484.9. Sterling model, so it's about 2,100 square feet, a little bit less than that. And when this one came out before, my comment on it, and it's the same comment, really, I think it's good value here for adding up the hardwood and everything else. The problem is that the sort of orangey, peachy, red it doesn't. I've never seen a listing that I've gone, that's it. Like it doesn't, it's not a powerful listing color on the MLS for some reason. Now I think a little bit more neutral has a big effect. You don't see, here's a good test. How many model homes do you see that have the peachy orange? Very few of them. Okay, so Holmes Crescent 619.9. Yeah, nice finishes. This is the last model home apparently that Green Park's putting out. You've got the upgraded countertops, upgraded kitchen, and you're more than 2,500 square feet, so these guys might have a chance here. You might want to be careful though, because some of these homes back onto the plaza too, so that might be something that has an influence in the decision too. Lancaster 689, it's about 2,800 square feet. It's 122 feet, so it must have some kind of a pie-shaped lot. You can see that on the side here, it looks like it may bend out on this way. But I'll tell you, there's one just down the street, a little bit cheaper than this. It's backing out of the pond. We've got some other beautiful ones like this one. So finished basement, pie-shaped lot, maybe. But I'll tell you, the 669 one is giving these guys good competition. McCutcheon is a Tothberg 709. And if you look at the one on Somerville at 750, you figure for the extra cost of the finished basement on that one, plus the upgrades, I find it's a much better deal and a much more impressive bargain for me than this one at 709. It is a good street though. It's close to the BD Library, you're close to the new high school, you're close to Hawthorne Village Public School. There's some good stuff around that one. So Holmes Crescent, 896, 28 something square feet, nice finishes, beautiful house, wainscoting, the built-in here, you can see the nice thick moldings. It's a very impressive house. Okay, there's absolutely no flaws that I could see in this one. How many laundry rooms? I don't see kitchens that look that good, and that's a laundry room. So these guys have done it up. Big pie-shaped lot, 145 feet across the side, backing onto ravine. Imagine sitting in your hot tub there, really nothing around you. Awesome stuff. The finished basement isn't there, so if you look at some of the stuff that's sold in the 900s, take the money off for that. They might do it. It's a little bit smaller than some of the stuff that has sold up in the 9s. We're talking about 3,300 square feet versus 28, 29. Yeah, I don't know. It's probably a good range. I don't know if they're going to get that exact price, if they're going to sell for close to it, but it definitely deserves to be in the upper part of the 8s. No doubt about it. Third line is 1.374. Tough one to price because it's a little closer to town. It's not the same as some of the stuff on Brookville or Campbellville Estates. 4,000 square feet plus another finished 1,000 square feet in the basement. Basically all brand new. You get a nice in-ground pool here. So when you add up what it would cost to build this one, that's one way to look at it. How much is the land? How much is the house? Nice home theater there. You got a beautiful pool. Surprise, I like this view here, but maybe having a shot across the pool would be a good thing as well. There's a 20 by 40 workshop in addition to the triple car garage. You can see the workshop just over there. It's only on an acre. I think most people looking to buy, a really luxurious home, if they've got the push over $1 million, they're kind of looking saying, give me 5 acres, give me 10 acres, give me a little bit more separation. Depends how close the neighbors are on something like this. But the proximity to town is definitely a good thing for this home. And I think that it definitely is justified in some of the value on this price. Tricky one to really value. We don't see a lot of these types of homes this close to town. But yeah, we'll see what happens with this one. I'm certainly always on board for a listing that really has put in a lot of effort, has a lot of upgrades, and that's the story on that one. So if you have any questions, give us a call, and if you'd like our help, we'd be glad to be of assistance. Okay, have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.